this is what...
We've already been working on that through the stakeholders group. The stakeholders have actually set up some documents
about what they want,
about guidelines about what they are and aren't responsible for. Yeah, those documents are all out there.
It's the communication.
But whether or not they get passed on,
and then they say, "Well, it's your job now."
Yeah. So we just at LMPA just stand back and go, "Okay, new year, start again."
Absolutely, and this is stunning because there's a face. You can't beat face to face because if nothing else, you guys haven't even seen each other. You know, because I often think committees, as you were saying, work, in isolation about their own centre, and it might be really nice to actually talk to another centres committee that's been around for a bit longer about what they're doing and how they're doing. And it might not suit my families, but at least I've got an idea.
Yeah. I think it's really important that you're saying families, not kindergarten, not about what the building needs, not about what
it's the people in
what do the teachers, because they're obviously looking after our children, what do the families need? I think that's really important, and that focus gets taken away. That focus gets taken away, and even I felt when I walked into the committee that it was about, okay, this is what we're doing for our kinder, and we're giving you, new stuff here, or we're giving you maintenance items and things. But what about the families? Like there's one or two or three focus points, like the welcoming party or a barbecue or something. There's only a couple of things.
Because I actually think the kindergarten is the families. Yep. The building's almost irrelevant. It's almost irrelevant. And I get quite anxious about our government and their hubs, having everything together, all these beautiful buildings. But if nobody's speaking to each other in the building, and I did a project a couple of years ago, and part of it was at Maryborough, and we were talking to some of the teachers, a particular teacher. So we're asking the parents about why do you come to this centre? What's in it for you? Why do you come? And they all said the teacher. Now, for me as a city teacher, it was a magnificent kindergarten building. They had, a forest out here and a vegetable garden. They're like acres of land. And I'm like... So I ended up saying, because everybody was going, the teacher, and I go, hello, if you had the choice of this centre or this teacher in a cowshed, what would you choose? Teacher in a cowshed. The centre didn't have, the building, the garden, the rabbit, whatever. It was nothing. It was actually the interaction between the families.
Imagine if that relationship, you're not going to have an educational relationship between a parent and another parent. The teacher does have an educational imperative in her relationship. But imagine if the parents turned around and said, I was so welcomed by everyone there. I felt like I was part of that community. I felt like what I had to say was valued by everyone there. And I felt like what I said made a difference for my child.
And the teacher says that over the years, listening to the parents, she's made massive changes to the way she even runs her program and the parent involvement. And one of the examples she gave was the dreaded milk and fruit. And she said, there's always a mother on duty, But of course, as life changes, there weren't enough mothers on duty to be available. And so instead of going, well, I've got a terrible year, nobody can come and do milk and fruit, she went, we're not doing it anymore. Obviously, this is not suiting my families. We're actually going to provide our snack another way. We're not going to do this milk and fruit business. It's stressing out the 6 people that can come because they're rostered every 5 minutes, and it's not including all the people that can't come. And the people that are doing so much of it are looking at the others and going, well, what are you doing? So she said, enough, change the whole thing. And everybody can do or not do, and it doesn't matter.
So do we support... That's where I feel like where you're talking about these relationships, even with the teachers back to the committee, do we support that relationship? How are the ways that we find out about the needs from the teachers other than committee meetings where they can raise what they need, what their needs are family-based? Because that's not a focus either. I don't feel, I'm talking from one experience, not from, but I'm saying from a new person coming in, I don't feel like that focus is there where the teacher says, okay, we need this for this group of people, or we need to change this around for this. So do we make that a focus point at our meetings and say, agenda item, what are the new needs of the families, where we have a suggestion box or we have an out of committee meeting for parents, like a parents group.
Your centre, I think you push the agenda that you want.
And you need to remember that at this point in time the world's changing on the teachers too.
Bingo.
This is the belonging, becoming, being, and the new VYLDF and the new quality standards framework. It's all changing on them as well. So all of these questions are raising and coming to the fore under all the new stuff. So
stunning. So I think committees can lead the discussion. You don't wait for the teacher to give the agenda items, put some on yourself. As a new committee, we want to make sure that every parent in our centre feels belonging. So how are we going to do that? You know, what will the teacher's role be? What will our role be? It might be like that school project I was telling you about, that each of you take on 4 parents that you make yourself known to, know their name, know a bit about them, whatever. No, I think parents put things on the agenda.
And our stakeholders group, as an overarching group of interested families, is actually feeding back to the teachers what the committees are interested in, what the committees are interested about. So that group's actually creating that loop. So it's another way that parents can inform staff about their interests and what they want to see at kinder. And sometimes it can be as simple as, I remember a mum that I had great difficulty connecting with when I was a teacher, and I couldn't work out what the problem was. And it took me 6 months to get out of her that she really was unhappy because I wasn't tucking her child's shirt in. And she thought that was really important. I had no idea. If he's running in his shirt hanging out, who cares? But
She did.
You'll be allowed to touch him now, would you?
no, that's right. But for her, no, we
That was
still
important.
touched them and cuddled them and do all of it. But for her, that was really important. But, you know, it took a long time trying to work out what I could do. As soon as I started doing that, she felt that I'd heard her.
Yeah.
That I understood her needs.
Yeah.
And it made all the difference.
And it's about all the parents in the centre feeling safe to actually say anything, you know, in relation to their child.
Imagine coming and criticising your teacher for not tucking someone's shirt in, you know, that would feel quite a threatening
Scary.
and challenging thing to have to do.
But it was actually important for that mum and her
was.
sense of well-being of her child. And it's about appreciating everybody's. Because as I was saying to the staff this morning, you know, we parents come in with our one child, you know, that we want the staff to give all their attention to. But of course they've got 25 such people with such parents saying the same thing. So unless you tell the staff what you want, they will not know. And don't feel that you don't have the right. You are the mother. It is your child that we, the teachers, are privileged to take a little bit of that child's life, you know, be part of their life for a little while. That's our privilege.
And you know more than we do. We haven't walked the floor at 3 o'clock in the
No,
morning
that
when the
colicky
child's been
baby.
sick with a temperature. And Sunday, you know more than we do.
Yeah.
Your knowledge is invaluable.
I feel that as a committee member though. I feel like I don't have the right to walk in and upset the apple cart for the people that have been there for years before. That's how I feel. I
It's a
think
difficult relationship.
it is,
I really
because
do.
you walk in and these people they've ran it this way for years.
Time
and
to
you walk in and you
change.
say, what about this, what about this, what about that?
Clicky groups don't work.
Too long.
They don't work.
What does?
Clicky groups
No.
do not work.
But that's
You
what I'm
have to
finding
break it.
walking in. It's like,
Yeah,
because
no.
I am that personality that I'm like, well, what about this, what about this, what about this?
Girl.
And they're like, hang on a second. And I don't want to step on toes, so I think, oh, maybe I shouldn't push that point, or maybe I shouldn't, like you're saying, about the families, and it's ticking over in my head thinking, okay, we need to make that an agenda item. But if I walk into my committee and I say, okay, I'm going to put this on the agenda, am I going to get, we've never done that before.
Tough, that's why we're doing it.
But that's what I'm putting out there
Take
for other
wine to your
people.
meetings.
Yes.
But that's what I'm putting out there if other people feel like that. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else feels
Or
that.
a cheese with your meeting. If it breaks down a barrier, do it.
Yeah.
I think so.
No, I'm just saying that you have those groups that have been there for years, and I feel like I'm sort of like,
And I'm with you
I'm not
because
letting them down.
good girl. Because the tragedy, I think, is when the small dominant group is negative.
And it
You
does
know, it
happen.
upsets the whole centre.
It does,
Nobody
but you
wants
need
to
to
join. Nobody feels included except this little group that's doing whatever they like.
Yeah, but
think-
how do you battle that? You
That's
battle
right.
that by saying that your process is that whatever you do is something that you consult with all parents.
Yes.
So the role of your committee is actually to make sure that everyone's consulted and is a part of this group.
Yep.
Not to make the decisions, but to set it up so that the information can be gathered and then the decision can be made. And then if you've got a little power group,
Break it down. Go get
You
it.
need to be inclusive.
Yes, that's right.
but that's what I'm saying. I feel a bit inhibited by going up and saying, this is the new stuff, like as if you're going to come in and take over our committee. That's the sort of thing that I'm talking about. I don't know if
your
you know what
president.
Yeah.
You'll be right.
So when you see me overvoted,
You'll be right.
It would be really interesting at your first committee meetings for the year to have a discussion about exactly what it is that you do, exactly what you
Bingo.
want to do,
Yes.
what your aims for the year might be, and how you might find out from all the other parents what
What
their
they
aims
want.
for their kindergarten
Gorgeous.
and their kindergarten year is.
And there'll still be finance, there'll still be, you know, the furniture, the equipment, whatever. But I think the most important thing is the families. Because you can have a magnificent centre with all your wonderful families all joined together in a cow shed, according to my study. You know, we need to finish up time-wise, don't we? I can't thank you enough for coming to contribute, because I know you're all busy. Thank you. But I think it's the beginning of a lovely journey about valuing you in the centre and then you valuing others.
And because Pat was here talking to us about family-centred practice, I thought, I just can't avoid this opportunity to use her again in the afternoon for more family-centred practice with our committees. So thanks, Pat.
Pleasure.
We're going to drag someone of this calibre, an internationally renowned author, into our mix. We're going to use her as much as we can.
I'm now doing another session. And then I think they let me go.
We do. Give me a cup of tea in between.
So lovely meeting you all. Congratulations on everybody who's joining a committee for the first time. But go in there because this is your role. This is your moment. How can you include every parent in your centre? So thank you, and thank you for starting off that conversation with somebody who's been in the role for a little while. So thank you for that.
And I look forward to getting all the kindergartens together through the stakeholders meetings, or if anybody wants, if you're starting in the role as a president or a treasurer, we'll ring in, ask to come and meet with us or ask for us to come out there. I'm new. Between Belinda and I, we're usually out at every centre at least twice per term.
And Belinda's already introduced herself and said, hasn't she, that she hopes to meet everybody as she goes around.
And so we're going to try and set it up at one of those visits. We ring and say, we're coming then, have you got some time before or after that? Do you want to catch up? And usually people talk to us in first term, then after that they go, yeah, no worries, we're fine.
Would you go to a committee meeting if you're invited?
If we can get there, yeah. The only issue is 26 kindergartens is 260 meetings a year, which is a bit hard. We tried to get to every AGM this year to make sure that people at least knew who we were. Yeah. I think we've nearly made it everywhere. I think there was a couple we missed, but we do try and get out there. And if people want us up there for an early meeting this year, we'll try and do that too.
And the other responsibility from us as the parents on committees is when there is an invitation, should you hear about it, when there is an invitation about going to something, make sure somebody from each committee goes.
Yeah.
And brings that information back and keeps that going, even if it's for the treasurers and the treasurer can't go, wouldn't you think? Somebody goes, so at least...
Yeah. And we try and ring around, we try and keep in contact, we try and make sure that, it fits into people's lives, which is usually love takes over. And then all of a sudden go, oh, hang on, they're going to school.
How did that happen?
Happens very quickly.
Thanks everyone for your time.
Sorry about invitations too. Who gets? I'm not a president.
We send them to the president and hope that the president actually distributes them to everyone.
But the rest of you can ask the president, have you got anything from...
Jenny McKinnon's here in front of her, in the red LCA shirt.
Thanks everyone for your time.
She's actually got them here to hand out.